Hi guys! Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Today we are going to explore our love of books and we're going to share with you some that we've been loving, even if it's the past couple of months or something that really stands out to us. And we decided to pick 3 each. But we are really excited to give our little review on them and see if there's any other bookworms out there who has a love of reading.
Yeah, I feel like reading is so underrated.
Yeah,
like I have loved reading since I was a child. Like I've been an avid bookworm. And my goal for 2020 this year was to make sure that every single night, I have just at least 10 to 15 minutes where I read and zone out.
It is an escape, definitely. I feel like when I'm reading, it kind of makes me, like you said, zone out and I switch off. And I think it's really nice to get involved in a book and the storyline and really get into it so much that everything around you, it's kind of as if you're in a bubble. I love reading when we go away.
I think as well, when you find the genres that you enjoy reading, then it doesn't feel like a chore because it's something that you want to do. I think if you're thinking of reading but you're not quite sure what books you like, then I feel like you are going to have to maybe go through a couple of genres before you realise what you do and don't like.
Because I think I was really based into crime books and horror and stuff, and now I just can't read that. And I think as well you go through stages of what you like. And I think another great thing is now you can get sample chapters of books. There's is it Goodreads online, which gives great reviews, and you can see if it's actually for you.
Yeah, definitely. So we've picked 3 books that we have enjoyed or we've absolutely loved, and we just thought we'd share them with you. If you enjoy videos like this, then we can do this regularly when we have books to show. I think as well it's nice because I think we've both got different genres, so it's nice to see different people's views, because obviously if you're watching this you might not like the books that I like, but you might like Emily's books and vice versa. So I think it's nice to have a selection of books that we can share.
We always swap share, or we're oh, have you read this, or we'll read something and then it's coming into a movie. I think you know, it's really cool.
I love it. So do you want to share your first one?
Okay, so the first one I've gone with is your classic romance book. I think it's classed as young adult.
YA,
so this is page 2. I absolutely love her writing.
I've read every single book.
I've read loads of her books. It's something that you open the book and you can get into it straight away. This one is Lucy in the Sky.
I love this one.
This is amazing. I've given this 5 out of 5. It's how it's displays the romance in it, and it's got the integration of travel.
Not too cheesy.
No, it's not got that classic storyline. There's a bit of traveling in there, there's a bit of friendship, which I really like. And I read this on holiday. I really like the location that they've set it out to. I think it's quite relatable. Some books, as you say, are classic or cheesy, and you know, you're reading the book and you're a bit like, oh, I've heard this story 500
many times,
you know. And also I just got really engrossed into it because it's not too flouncy, it's an easy read, and I just think it was really nice.
I did enjoy that one as well.
It was so nice, and I don't know, I just really got into it, and it got me hooked straight away. I just think it's a really good one, and I
like
read
page
it again.
2 books because with them being YA, I feel like you can be any age to read them and they can still be quite relatable, whether you're young, a teenager, you know, and there's quabbles in school, or you're older, you're a mum or you're a wife, and you know, you may feel tied down or you feel bogged down sometimes. I feel like all of her books are relatable in some way.
I think as well, to not be afraid to go to the young adult section, because they're not all really,
they're not kiddie books.
That's how I used to see young adult as kids books, and I used to be oh, am I really at an age where I really need to get out of this? But then I'm no, because there's still really good authors out there, and there's so many books like this which aren't just romance. They've got the added, you know, extras on top that just make it a book you want to read.
Yeah, definitely. I love that one. So my first one is sticking in the same genre, which I think you'll figure is one of our like most read genres.
Favourite.
So YA. I realised that although I liked YA, I liked books that were surrounding the area of mental health, psychiatric hospitals, mental illnesses. I just find them so relatable, but also I love to see how an author can put it into a story and make it realistic. So the book I've chose is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This was a book that I read first maybe about 4 or 5 years ago when I was personally feeling quite lost with myself. And when I picked this book up, something just clicked and I was like, I love the characters. For me, I feel like if I connect with the characters, then I know I'm going to bloody love the book.
Yeah, definitely.
And straight away I like fell in love with Violet, who is the main character in this, and then obviously you meet the other people in it, Theodore, and this is actually becoming a movie this year, so I'm so excited. But then the only thing that gets me is I always find the book better than the movie. So I think that is the same with the book that we both read, Everything Everything. That became a movie, and although we both enjoyed it, like when you're in the book, you're in the book.
I think you think of the characters differently, and I think you've got your ideas of what all these places are. Like I was saying to Sophie before, like I said to her, do you remember that book that was about that guy, blah blah blah? And I said, I don't know if it's a book or if it's a movie. And it's obviously my imagination that's got away with itself and like pictured this scene, how it's set, like how the characters are. And I think then seeing that in a movie kind of like undoes what
you've already thought. Yeah. I think it's the same with all Harry Potter books as well. Like a book leaves things to like your imagination, whereas when you see the film, it actually becomes like reality, and you think like, oh, I kind of wish that didn't happen, or oh, I thought of it this way, but now because I've seen the movie, I can't think of it that way anymore.
Yeah, really like thin line with,
of course it is.
You know, what you want, and obviously everyone's interpretations isn't going to be the same.
Completely different. Yeah, that's why I think it's good to like leave it up to the imagination.
Yeah, I like that. My second one is a little bit different. I've got, it's called Hash, the secret and chilling story behind the deadly underground. Kind of speaks for itself what it's about.
Never read this. I want to borrow it.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars because obviously it's not for everyone, but it was a good read. I love how it shows like the insides of the drug trade, the secrets of like the underworld, of everything that happens. It's really insightful about how like it works in other countries as well, like the connections it has to like our country and other countries. I like crime novels.
I love crime novels,
but I've kind of got away. Yeah, I've got away from like the fiction ones, and this is obviously a true story, and I think it's quite eye-opening and even, dare I say, a little bit educating. I did criminology, so obviously I love stuff like this, but just hearing it from someone else's perspective,
it's so different.
It kind of felt a bit like a documentary, but something that was really interesting. I just wanted to pick it up and, you know,
just carry on
read it. Yeah, but
I think
really
the thing with these
it.
books as well is you can pick it up and stop at any time.
I have to find out what happens because in a way it's kind of just like
it's
you're
kind
intrigued,
of like you said, it's more educational. When it's like fictional or, you know, educational or something about real life, sometimes you have to kind of take it a little bit slow to kind of like digest it and understand what is actually going on, because they're more sensitive.
Yeah, because you can pick them back up like really easily. But like I really liked actually just reading this now and again. You know, books like this are great when you don't have as much time and you just want to take, you know, 10 minutes, 5 minutes out your day, and it's just really interesting. Everything that actually relates to this, so like all the other crimes that relate to drugs, I just think is crazy and this is a book to read if you are interested in stuff like
Sounds
that.
so interesting. So my next book was very influenced by everyone that I'd seen online. Reading it, I'm very easily influenced when it comes to book. If someone said it's good, I'm like, right, I need to pick this up. I saw this in Asda, and when I found out it was the Costa Book Awards, I thought, well, it must be good. I went into it completely blind. So it's Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail, Honeyman. I went into this completely blind. I had no idea what it was about, and literally from the first line I knew this was going to be a book that was like one of my favourite books ever. As I was reading, I thought, it's quite slow. I want something to happen.
Yeah.
But what you don't realise is there's something happening at every single avenue of this book. So you're thinking, I need to know what's happening. But realistically, it's happening.
Like throughout.
Yeah, I just think Eleanor, the lady that, you know, the story is about, she is such a closed book, and by the end of it you realise that she's got to have like an open heart to deal with like certain situations, but you don't understand why she hasn't got an open heart till the very end.
So it's kind of
and
like
then
an
it kind
underlining.
of like comes together, and I think this was such a beautiful story. Again, this does have mental health related issues. It just kind of like shows you like every single day like the anxieties that people are facing going into work. Sometimes she couldn't even like open the door to go into work because she had that horrible rush, but then every other day she could walk in and she'd have no problem. So I think this maybe won the award because of how relatable it was, and it was kind of like an underdog. I don't think people kind of expected it to be as good as what it was. So I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
My final book, I had to hide this because have you read it too?
Yeah, you lent it to me.
Oh my god, yeah. Right, okay. So I have raved and raved and raved and raved about this book. It is not like me to message Sophie or go around and be like, I'm reading this book, read it. Because I know that everyone has like their own little, you know, niche and little styles that they like to read. Anyway, so this is E. Lockhart, We Were Liars. I picked this up on a whim, I think in Asda or something, one summer.
A long time ago.
Yeah, and it's in the summertime, and I read it in 3 days. I never read a book within a week. Sophie will be like, have you started that book? And I'll be like, yeah.
What, about 10 days ago, and I'm still on page 2, and I'm like, okay, I've read 4 books.
I am awful. Obviously, I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars. Okay. So I love that this has the mixture of family and friends and twists and secrets. I just think when I was reading this, I didn't actually realise what was going on in the story until the end. You cannot guess the ending in this book. The amount of twists in it and how the character is portrayed it's weird. Because
so we got such different views on there.
I just find it really weird because when you get introduced to the character and everything, I didn't quite realise what was going on. You know, I was thinking, oh, a bit of family drama. Like in here, they are quite privileged. And I was thinking, oh, is it a bit like twists? There's a bit of secret. But I just think you need to read this book. I don't know how else to explain it without giving it away, but it is a bit of a tragedy, and I just love it.
I hated it.
I absolutely loved it.
It's crazy. I read it in one sitting, and I was just like, what have I read? Like an adult YA than like a child's YA.
Definitely.
For sure.
But like it's how she explains the story
without giving anything away
is really, it's quite dark and twisted. The way she describes things, you think that everything's great and everything's going on that's normal in her life, and obviously it isn't. But I think as well it's really sad because of how actually I just don't know how to say it without giving it away. But I think it's a story you have to concentrate on reading. You have to kind of put a bit more thought into it, definitely. But I really loved it. Like, just literally looking at this book cover makes me want to read it. I swear she's got other books.
She has. She's got one called Genuine Fraud.
Has she?
And that's very thin as well. That's only like under 200 pages.
When I see a book this thin, I can't not read it. Like,
my last book is another mental health recommendation, but this is not a story. This is kind of like real life, and this is Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig. This book is just, yeah, I just don't have words for this book. I feel like if you have ever experienced any type of mental health related issues, whether that just be stress, anxiety, or you have something a lot more serious, bipolar disorder, you've got PTSD, you know, you've got severe complex mental health issues, and you're stuck and you don't understand why your brain is doing these things, then read this book. I'm not going to say too much about it because I feel like everyone and their mum should know about this book. I just feel like you need to pick it up and just read it and understand that every person has felt like this at some point in their life. It's very raw, honest, and I feel like if you are not in a very good state of mind, then do not pick this up.
I was going to say, like, sometimes you have to be in the right headspace.
It would have a very, very big trigger warning. This does talk very openly about him wanting to end his life.
Which is quite dark.
You can't get any like blainter than that. But I think what I love about this is I am an avid fan of Matt Haig, like wholeheartedly. Like I love how honest he is, and I just feel like now that we're in 2020, like mental health is becoming a lot more like okay to talk about. And like this book was written when like it wasn't deemed okay to speak about, and I just feel like if you feel lost, then just definitely pick this book up. This book could actually save your life.
Yeah, I think, you know, as we were saying with a couple of the others, that's actually given me goosebumps. But I think without being, you know, dead, with it being dead dark and everything, real. I think some people need to read books like that. There's other books as well which I think can really help you with anything, you know, even if you want to go a bit more light-hearted. One about feminism, there's Girl Boss out there, which is so really good. There's one about Girl Up, I think it is, and it's about powerful women and how to deal with stuff.
Books as well.
Yeah,
like there are so many educational books written by fantastic people. You either want to understand why you feel like that or understand someone that has been in that situation, and I feel like no matter who you are, you will always relate to some kind of book like that. Like, there's books like this out there for everyone, and
I think there's even the Milk and Honey with the poems. Like I think that's really good, like eye-opening. And I just think there's books out there for everyone. Like as we said, you could pick up a more, you know, hard-hitting or even educational, and it can give you life experience. I think the more clued up you are about things, the more you learn about things, kind of creates you as a person. Reading these books, you've got an insight to how they're feeling, or like you kind of know how to approach things, and I just think it's really good. And I wouldn't, if you don't think you like reading, I wouldn't give up on it. I think you just need to maybe take a book from a different genre and just see like what you like. There's something for everyone.
And I feel like once you have found your genre, like there are so many books out there that you will find something to suit you. So we hope that the books that we've shared with you today either give you some good book recommendations, or you've read them and you've got exactly the same like thoughts and opinions that we have. If you have any book recommendations that you think we should read, then definitely drop them in the comments below.
We're always looking for more.
Don't forget to follow our Goodreads account. We'll link those in the description below, even if they're updated like once a month. Everything that we're reading will be linked down below. So we'll see you in our next video.
Bye.